Oh my God, things are getting wild out here. Big Meech and Rick Ross have been hanging heavy lately, and guess what? They got one thing in common. They're beef with 50 Cent. Listen, we all know Big Meech ain't the one to play with. And Ross, he was ready to throw hands in Vancouver when Drake's crew tried to run up on him. And now, new footage just dropped, and it's looking like they're plotting to put a stop to 50's shenanigans once and for all. So here's where things start heating up. Lil Meech was spotted out in Miami, kicking it with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather. Now, if you know anything about hip-hop beef, you know both these dudes can't stand 50 Cent. They were all chilling at the Lucky Strike bowling alley, but trust me, this
Meech took a picture with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather just to get 50 Cent upset after he cut off his money supply.
wasn't just some casual night out. Big Meech even made a surprise appearance. Well, kind of. He called in during their hangout, talking to both Ross and Mayweather. And of course, 50 saw the whole thing go down and had to add his 2 cents. He jumped on IG talking crazy, saying Ross was just trying to send Big Meech some lemon pepper wings from his Wingstop. Classic 50, always trolling. But if you read between the lines, this link-up wasn't about no wings. This was about making moves. 50's issues with the Flynn family been brewing for a minute now. It all kicked off when Lil Meech started getting cozy with Rick Ross and
I took a picture with Rick Ross. Hey, Curtis Jackson, you more than welcome to bring that Versace Lamborghini to the car show and your little homies. I know them niggas with them niggas, Auntie Murder. Yeah, I know you got a Toyota Tundra.
y'all know 50 and Ross got history. We're talking years of beef, diss tracks, and social media shots. So when 50 saw Meech hanging with his ops, yeah, he saw that as straight up betrayal. And let's not forget, 50 did a lot for Lil Meech.
Meech, and you put him in acting school. You know, you take him from Detroit. I remember him rapping when he was rapping and nobody was helping him from what I...
He put him through acting school so he could play his pops in the BMF show. He paid for his rehab when he was going through it. He even bailed him out a few times when he got into legal trouble. So for Lil Meech to be out here moving with 50's enemies, that's like a slap in the face. But it ain't just about Lil Meech. 50's been saying Big Meech is a bad influence on his son, and honestly, the way things are looking, 50 might have been right. Big Meech is still on supervised release for the next 5 years, so he can't be out here moving reckless.
Got it.
Do that again. Do that again.
But instead of keeping things low-key, he's got his son out here running with people who got beef with 50. Let's keep it real. Big Meech's name don't hold the same weight it did back in the day. Yeah, BMF was legendary, but those days are over. A lot of his old crew fell back once they realized Meech might have been working with the feds. Even Dion...
It's like if you rich and you got power, you can't be a snitch. Meech a snitch. Everybody know Meech a snitch, right? Cuffy say Meech a snitch, he a snitch. I'm from St. Louis, gang. I ain't going against my own. What Cuffy got?
Cuffy, one of Meech's most loyal guys, said from behind bars that Meech was a third-party confidential informant. That's a big accusation. And if it's true, it explains why so many of his people turned their backs on him. Nobody wants to be associated with someone who's throwing their own people under the bus to get a lighter sentence. And then there's Tammy Cowens. Word is she's been Meech's right hand.
The allegations is that Meech was giving her information that she then was taking to the feds that was getting people hemmed up.
And for a minute, but things between them got messy. See, back in the day, they were supposedly a thing, but when Meech got out, instead of getting back with Tammy, he linked up with one of his baby mamas. And let's just say, Tammy didn't take that well. Even Boobie Baz spoke on this, saying Tammy turning on Meech might have been personal. Drama on top of drama. Now let's talk about this lineup. Ross ain't no stranger to the smoke. We saw him ready to throw hands in Vancouver when Drake's crew tried to step to him. Mayweather, he's undefeated. Hands down one of the best boxers of all time. And 50, don't sleep on him. He's got a boxing background and street affiliations from his Southside Queens days. So when you see Ross, Mayweather, and Lil Meech all together, you know it's not just some random meetup. This looks like a strategy session. Of course, 50 wasn't about to let this slide. He's the king of petty. And when he saw that footage...
shaking right now, not only because I'm nervous, but it's definitely mad.
He had to go in. First thing he did was jump on Instagram and clown the whole situation, talking about how Ross was just trying to send Big Meech some chicken wings. But we know 50. When the jokes start flying, there's usually some real tension behind it. And let's not forget, 50's been saying for a while now that Big Meech is a bad influence on Lil Meech. We're starting to see that play out in real time. From hanging out with 50's enemies to getting caught up in all this mess, Lil Meech is looking more and more like a pawn in his pop's game. And it doesn't stop there, because 50 went on Instagram to congratulate Book 2 Ghost star Michael Rainey Jr. for winning an NAACP award for Outstanding Actor in a Drama Series. But of course, 50 being 50, he had to make it messy. He brought up how Michael Rainey Jr. once tried to take...
Many names the list, but let me salute some of the legends. Lil Baby, Boss Man D-Lo, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Ricky Rose. Now, this is the first time it's ever been done.
Lil Meech under his wing, but Meech didn't want the help. That's wild because Rainey's been killing it on Power, and 50 made sure everyone knew Lil Meech wasn't on that same level. But it ain't just the jokes. 50 is messing with Big Meech's money too. Word on the street is Big Meech already had to take an L when the BMF show got canceled. That means no more checks for Lil Meech from the show. And let's be real, that show was his biggest come-up so far. And if that ain't enough, there's more.
So officer at one point?
I was, yeah.
So going all the way back, when was that? How long ago?
Maybe when I was 20.
20 years old.
Yeah.
Remember that homecoming concert Big Meech was supposed to have? Yeah, that got shut down too. And guess who people say was behind it? 50 Cent. Allegedly, 50 had a hand in getting that event canceled, and that's another bag fumbled for Big Meech. So now you've got Big Meech watching 50 stop his son's TV checks, block his own concert money, and clown them both on social media every chance he gets. If that ain't enough reason for Meech to want to silence 50, I don't know what is. Now let's talk about Ross for a minute, because this dude's been catching heat for
the real Rick Ross.
You talking about the gangster?
Yeah, that's my manager.
For real?
Yeah, he right there. The real Rick Ross, you see him?
Let's go to Rick Ross. How you feeling?
I'm good.
You the real Ricky Rose?
Real Ross. Yeah.
a while. A lot of people still look at him sideways because, let's keep it real, he used to work as a correctional officer. 50 Cent had a field day with that one, constantly calling him Officer Ricky and clowning him every chance he got. And you already know, once 50 gets a hold of something, he's not letting go. But that's not even the worst of it. Ross's entire persona has been questioned, and not just by fans. The real Rick Ross, Freeway Rick Ross, has been coming for him for years. And guess what? That beef just sparked up again. During Fight Night on March 1st, Freeway Rick Ross, the actual drug kingpin Ross took his name from, popped up in an interview and went off. He called Ross out for straight up jacking his identity. And then he made it personal. "I'm the real Ross," he said, letting it be known there's only one boss in this game, and it ain't the Maybach music guy. Then he threw some serious shade at Ross's weight, saying, "I ain't fat either. Nah, I ain't fat." Of course, Ross clapped back the only way he knows how, through social media. He tried to play it off with some humor, but we all saw the deflection. He called Freeway Rick a gangsta informant and threw in a bunch of emojis. But come on, that's weak when someone's questioning your whole identity. So while Ross is busy fighting off these accusations and trying to defend his name, he's also out here plotting with Big Meech to take down 50. It's giving too much on my plate, but hey, Ross is standing on business, I guess. Now this whole situation is getting wild, and it's got everybody talking. Big Meech is still pulling strings from behind the walls. Ross is out here trying to shake off that Officer Ricky rep, and 50 Cent, man, he's just sitting back trolling like it's a full-time job and winning at it. But with this new footage and all these moves being made, you gotta wonder, what's really going on? Is Big Meech really trying to silence 50? Or is this just smoke and mirrors? And do y'all think Rick Ross still has the pull to stand up to 50? Or is his past as a CO always going to haunt him? Most importantly, if this beef really pops off, who's coming out on top? I want to hear what y'all think. So hit up that comment section and let's get this discussion going. And while you're at it, smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And check out the next video on your screen. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Won't want